Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Optic Scumpy here today, back with another video. I know it's been a while, and you want to know why it's been a while, my friends. That is why it has been a while. No, but in all seriousness, guys, the reason why I haven't been uploading, I wanted to be the best teammate I possibly could be. I didn't want to cost. The game goes a lot further than getting 2 pieces and 3 pieces sometimes, and I think the extra time that I put in and my teammates put in really benefited us a little bit. We made around $200,000 in the past 2 weeks off of tournaments. We have Season 2 playoffs and then Call of Duty championships. Obviously, a lot of that is taxable, but I think we did pretty well for ourselves in the competitive Call of Duty realm in these last 2 weeks. Now, the reason why I haven't been uploading, let me just go in depth a little more. So, I said it's not all about the 2 pieces and the kills because those help. Those obviously help. But whenever you're in one of those grudge matches, okay, say us versus Envy, us versus LG, you're not always going to get those 2 pieces. You know, they're going to be trading out at a fast pace just as well as your team is sometimes. And it's about going the extra step and knowing what to do off of every spawn that will benefit your team in the best way possible. That is really the difference maker in some of these matches. Now, there's some maps where you just completely blow them out, whatever. But in some of those close matches, I think that our preparation in the final I'd say 2 months of the game is what really set us apart. And just knowing what to do as a team. It really set us apart from some of the competition. Now that I'm back, though, I will be uploading a lot more. Please don't worry. I apologize for taking the break in the first place. I really don't apologize, though, because like I said, guys, I'll always be a competitive player first, a content creator second, and a father to 3 cats third. I'm sorry, you know, it's just what it is. I have 3 people that heavily depend on me. I know that you guys depend on me to upload content and stuff like that, but I have, like, 3 people where, you know, that's our livelihood, is us winning. So I was just trying to be the best teammate possible. I hope you guys understand. If you don't understand, I mean, that's on you, but I'm back. So let's talk a little bit about the 2 tournaments, though. We're going to start with Season 2, and then we're going to end with Champs. So Season 2, I think the main reason, just to go off on a tangent here quick before we get into it, I think the main reason why we found so much success in these last 2 weeks was because of Season 2. We got a super, super hard pull in Season 2 qualifying week. And the good thing about that was that the Season 2 playoff was 5 days after our week ended. So we had 4 days to stay in Columbus and LAN against Envy while other teams were at home playing online versus everyone else. But I don't think it's a coincidence that us and Envy were the 1 and 2 teams in the final 2 biggest tournaments of the year. You know, we were there landing each other for 4 days. We were landing each other at Champs. We were just playing against each other a lot. And I think that's like what really set it apart as well, is that we had all of this practice on LAN while other teams were at home. And people might say that's unfair, but we're not the ones that picked our group in our week that we were playing in. You know, we are not the ones that did that. But moving on into our first round match against Fnatic, we finally got a decently easier match than we usually get. Nothing against Fnatic, but pulling an LG or an E United or FaZe or someone like that first round is just not what we want. It's not how we win tournaments. It's just not good for us. You know, we usually need a map or match to warm up before we actually play our real match. So we play against Fnatic. I believe we 3-0'd them. Now my memory is going to be completely all over the place, guys. You have to remember this was like 3 weeks ago that we were at this tournament. So excuse me, because I probably will be making a lot of mistakes. Probably not a lot of mistakes, but a good amount. Fnatic, we 3-0'd them pretty easily. Not really too worried. I mean, like I said, that was a nice little match to start getting in the groove. They actually played us relatively close, if I remember. Most of the maps, even though it was a 3-0, they still played us pretty close on the map. So I was just happy to come out with the win. Like I said, first round, you know, out of the way. Next, we played, I think, E United. Was it E United in the second round? I think it was E United in the second round. And I think they 3-0'd us. Yeah, they 3-0'd us. The maps were not really that close, if I remember correctly. They pretty much just destroyed us, and I wasn't expecting it. E United was a really good team. Actually, funnily enough, I think that E United was the team on my radar at champs that I was like, if we play these guys, it's going to be our hardest match. So for us not to match up against them at champs, I think that might have been like a little bit of, not, I wouldn't say a blessing, but if we played them, it would have been a very hard match for us. I think that they matched up the best against us, but not against other teams, which is sort of weird to think about. But so United 3-0's us. I was like, oh shit, we're top 6 again, and now we have to win a bunch of matches. So we played FaZe for top 4, 3-2'd them, very close match. They actually had us in the bag in the last map, and then they just started choking rounds. I don't know if it was they were choking rounds or we were clutching up. I think we clutched like 3 or 4 1v2s map 5 against them to move on to Sunday, which is pretty insane. Moving on, we played LG again. This was the same scenario as Season 1 playoffs. We played LG first match in the morning for top 3. 3-0'd them. LG, I don't know what it was, but against LG, the last 2 tournaments, we were just on fire. We 6-0'd them the last 2 times we played them. And before that, it was like, it wasn't even... I think before those 2 tournaments, they had 8-3'd us in respawns, and we 6-1 them in S&Ds. So for us to just 6-0 them twice in the last 2 tournaments is pretty unreal. So we 3-0'd LG. Pretty easy match, to be honest. We pretty much blew them out on every single map. Next, moving on, we played against United again. This was the one match. This was the big match. This was the match of the tournament, pretty much. I mean, you could say FaZe was, but I think this was the match of the tournament. We played United again on the exact same map set that they 3-0'd us on. So I was sitting there like, shit, baby. We got to play them on the same maps that they just 3-0'd us on. This might be tough. They beat us first map. We beat them the next 2, I believe. They beat us 4th map. They beat us in both the hard points, which we fixed for champs heavily. But they beat us in the 2 hard points, and then in the final map, we ended up edging them out like 6-3 or something like that on retaliation S&D. So thank goodness we made it past that match. And then I'm not really going to talk too much about the Envy match because I don't really remember it that much. We had to beat them in 2 best-of-5s. Both times that we beat them in finals, I know that. So we beat them in 2 best-of-5s. I think it was 6-2 in the first one. I know it was 6-1 at champs. I'm not sure if it was 6-2. It was either like 6-2. I think it was 6-2 map count. 6-2 or 6-3, something like that. So we ended up beating them in 2 best-of-5s to win Season 2 playoffs. Woo! That was the first one. So we're done with that. I'm going to move on here into champs because this one's a little bit more, I would say there's a couple more matches than there were at champs than playoffs. Okay, so moving on into champs. We're going to start with group play, move on into the bracket. Pretty standard stuff. I'm going to wear the ring the whole time just while I'm talking about this. It's a pretty nice ring, by the way. You guys didn't really get that great of a look at it. It's pretty hard to see. Okay, there we go. There, it's starting to focus in a little bit. And then you can see on the side. Hold on, let me just take it off. You can see on the side there that it's like a 2017 trophy. It's the trophy with 2017 on the side, and it's the same exact thing on the other side. Or no, it's not the same thing. That is Call of Duty World League. So yeah, that's what the ring looks like. Pretty heavy, actually. It's a lot heavier than I had expected it to be. I think this one's a little bit thicker than the other years, but all right, moving on into champs. So we had 3 pool play matches. After the first day of pools, we pretty much knew we already secured first. We went 6-0 map count against 3s Up and Epsilon. Pretty easy day. Moving on, played Echo Fox. Like I said, we pretty much already were guaranteed first. I think we had to win 1 map against them to guarantee first seed going into bracket play. And the difference between first and second seed for us was actually pretty insane. If you look at the brackets, just in terms of the brackets, the bottom half had like 3 out of the 5 teams that I didn't like want to play until later in the tournament, and then our side just had FaZe. So like the other side had LG, United, and Envy all on the same side. It was our side was just like us and FaZe and Rise if you want to count them because they had a really good tournament. But the difference between first and second was pretty huge. So thank goodness we finally got first in our pool, and we did not get a hard first round. Moving on to Echo Fox, we beat them 3-1 or something. I had a really bad 4th map. That's the only thing I remember. That was like the worst map I had in probably months and months and months. Could not shoot straight for some reason. But moving on, into the bracket. We were playing Mind Freak Black, the team that emerged in second place from Team Envious's pool. Pretty much handled them pretty easily. I think 3 of us had 35 plus kills on third map, Uplink Frost. So I think we were just destroying that match. That was our only match of the day as well, so that was a pretty boring day. All the days were pretty boring besides like Saturday and Sunday. All the other days were just boring, dude. All right, next, moving on and playing Splice. Playing Splice for top 6. This was probably our most nerve-wracking match of the whole tournament. This was like, if we lose this last map, we might not win champs. That's actually crazy to think about. If we lose last map against Splice, it was throwback S&D again. If we lose that map, our road would have been so much more difficult. I don't even know if it would have been like, it would have been very hard. It would obviously been possible, but it would have been very hard to come back and win. So thank God we won last map against Splice. We won like 6-4, I think. If we lose that match right there, we are in a bad spot. So we 3-2 Splice. Splice always gives us a close match, so good. It was good. That was probably our like best game of the tournament. Like in terms of good games, those were probably our best games. We clutched fourth map too against them. They had like a 15-point lead going into the last hill, and we just turned on the afterburners and started cooking them. So I don't even know. If we lose that match Splice, it's no good. Next, moving on, we play FaZe. 3-0'd them pretty handedly. We like 6-0'd them in search. I think they had like 4 kills total. Beat them by like 150 points in the hard point, and then beat them like 8-4 or something, 5-2, 8-4, something like that in the uplink. So pretty much handled FaZe pretty easily. Moving on, we're top 3 now, moving into Championship Sunday. All of us were like, if we make it to Sunday, we're winning this thing. And I think everyone on my team sort of thought that, because if we make it to Sunday, we're usually just a completely different team. But can't even say that, because winners finals, we play against Envy, lose 3-1 to them, find ourselves in a tough predicament again, because now we have to win 2 best-of-5s yet again to win the Call of Duty championships. I don't think any of us cared. I think a lot of people were worried for us, like, oh no, they're gonna choke it again this year. I don't think any of us cared if we lost to Envy. We like instantly refocused and we're like, fuck that, we're not out of the tournament. We've done this before. We did this 2 weeks ago, where we beat them 2 times in 2 best-of-5s. So we can do this again right now. I think all of us were like, okay, if any team, I'd rather it be Envy, because they know in the back of their minds that we came back on them 2 weeks ago. So we play against LG again. Like I said earlier, we just mopped them. I don't know. We just had LG's number the last 2 matches of the year. Beat them 3-0 again, like handedly. 100-point clubbed them, like 6-3'd them in search, and then 11-2'd them in uplink. Like, just absolutely destroyed them. And that momentum that we carried in the Envy match was pretty insane. So, first series against Envy, we 3-1'd them. It was 6-1 overall in the 7 maps that we played in grand finals. We all had our moments too. Like, everybody contributed when they needed to. I had a really good 3rd map. Crim had a really good 4th map. And Scorch was the map that they actually beat us on in the previous time we played them in Winners Final. Scorch was the map that they won the series on. And we beat them by like 90 the second time we played them. Or not 90, like 40. It wasn't 90. It was like 40, but still. And then after we reset the bracket, we knew that our second matchup round or maps were a lot better than our first matchup. So we pretty much knew after we beat them in that first series, and then we beat them on Throwback Hardpoint, which was one of our weaker hardpoints. We pretty much knew that we won. And then we won second map, and then I was like, holy shit, we have Precinct Uplink to close out the year. There's no way we lose. Because Precinct Uplink was like one of our strongest maps and modes throughout the whole year. And we got it done. Thank you guys for all of the support. Little fist bump right there, action. Thank you guys for all the support. Like I said, I'm going to be back to uploading videos, I would say daily now. I mean, I might miss a few days here and there, but I'd say pretty much daily. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys for sticking around throughout my little drought here of videos and content. But love you guys. Like I said, you guys, the support you guys gave us the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks has been absolutely insane. I mean, we can't do it without you guys. You guys are the lifeblood. You know, the crowd there was also insane. So if you were there in attendance, watching online, thank you guys. It was an experience that I will never forget. So thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys all in the next one. And as always, this was your wild. It's going to be fight.